This video shows you the steps of NIAC and what they think are the best early childhood education practices. The first step I did was go to Google and type in best practices in early childhood education NIAC. That link brought me to this page. I then read the overview of what they believe is developmentally appropriate practice, and then on the right hand side where it says DAP resources, I clicked on DAP with preschoolers. This page tells you all about DAP with preschoolers ages 3 to 5. It informs you that preschoolers thrive when they can experience new materials, roles, ideas, and activities, and that they can make important cognitive gains that invite them to represent their world in pretend play, symbols, objects, drawings, and words. It also gives you a good example of a teaching situation in which will happen. After this page, I then clicked on DAP with kindergartners. This is the DAP with kindergartners page, which is ages 5 to 6. It informs you that kindergartners go through a lot of major shifts, including personal responsibility, self-direction, and logical teaching. This page, just like the DAP with preschool page, also gives you an example of a teacher situation and what can be done in a kindergarten classroom. After this, I then clicked on the DAP in the early primary grades. This page, like the other two, also gives an example of a classroom situation. The DAP for early primary grades is ages 6 to 8. It also lets you know that teachers know that children are eager for and need explanations, illustrative information, direct instruction on and about new concepts, word, or events, and opportunities to practice a new skill. After reading this page, I then clicked on the 3 core considerations under what is DAP. On this page, NIAC explains to us what they consider the 3 core considerations of DAP. The first one is knowing about child development and learning. Knowing what is typical at each age and stage of early development is crucial. This knowledge, based on research, helps us decide which experiences are best for children's learning and development. The second one is knowing what is individually appropriate. What we learn about specific children helps us teach and care for each child as an individual. By continually observing child's play and interactions with the physical environment and others, we learn about each child's interests and abilities, the developmental process. The third and final one is knowing what is crucially important. We must take an effort to know the child's families and learn about the values, expectations, and factors that shape their lives at home and in their communities. This background information helps us provide meaningful, relevant, and respectful learning experiences for each child and family. After these 3 core considerations, I then clicked on the 12 principles of child development according to NIAC. This page teaches us about the 12 principles of child development and learning that inform practices. Some examples of these are that all areas of development and learning are important, early experiences have profound effects on development and learning, and development and learning occur in and are influenced by multiple social and cultural contexts. After reading all 12 of these and thinking about them, I then clicked on the 5 guidelines for effective teaching. On this page, I then read the 5 guidelines for effective teaching, which are creating and caring communities of learners, teaching to enhance development and learning, planning curriculum to achieve important goals, assessing children's development and learning, and establishing reciprocal relationships with families. According to NIAC, they tell us to think about these 5 points on a star as a mariner's star, to guide our journey to help children learn best. Each point of the star is a virtual part of good practice in early care and education. None can be left out or shortchanged without seriously weakening the whole. After this, I then clicked on the 10 suggestions for teaching strategies. This page shows us the 10 effective DAP teaching strategies according to NIAC. Some of them include acknowledge, encourage, give feedback, model, and demonstrate. The following chart shows us all 10 steps